Where's your mama? She at the house. You need to go into the house. You know people be snatching kids. Yes, the heck they do. And you just walking up to me, girl, you scared the daylights out of me. Huh? Where's mommy? Let's go find mommy? Yeah.
My mother told me and my siblings when we were young kids, before I remember it was when my older brother started secondary school. It was a big deal, my older brother going off to the big boy school. And my mum sat us down and she said, if you're ever in trouble out there in the real world, look for a black woman.
If you get lost?
Find a big black guy.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell him?
And that I died.
I called the police. What's going on with somebody's baby? I done found outside in the cold with a pamper on, one sock, no shoes, a top, walking in my backyard. The police is here.
White people, stop telling your children, go find a black woman if they get lost. Hell no, we're not doing this in 2025.
Hello good people, welcome to African Commentary. Here we learn and grow every day.
Be about 15, 16 years old, but probably appeared older to him because he looked to be about 6, 7 years old. So he went up to her, grabbed her hand, and was like, "Mommy told me to find one of you. If I'm lost, can you help?" And this kid, this teenager, deer in headlights, had no idea, looking around trying to figure out what to do. And honestly, I've never trusted that situation. I've never trusted the fact that y'all tell your children to find a black woman for safety, but you tell the world black women are violent, angry, and bitter. Never really trusted that. So I stayed in the aisle, and I'm glad I did, because not even 30 seconds later, here comes his mother with security rounding the corner talking about, "Why are you touching my child?" Black women, if you find yourself in this situation, record everything immediately.
If you get lost?
Find a big black guy.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell him?
And that I died.
Oh, do I need to tell you there's a bunch of white people really upset about that video? Stitching it, duetting it in the comments. Oh, this is racist. Actually, if you want to be real about it, statistically, based on the data, any child would be safer approaching a strange black man than they would a strange white man. So let's look at some numbers. Convictions of possessing images of children. White people, 86%, while black make up only 4%. I'd say white people damn near cornered the market. And when you talk about assault of a child, the numbers are a little bit different, but white people still excel. 42% are white, 18% are black, but I feel these numbers might be skewed. For example, Hispanic make up 10% of the abuse. They also make up 10% of the possession of images, so those seem to be pretty close to each other, while these other numbers are way off. Now factor in that black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a serious crime, including that kind of assault, than white people are. Then think about all of the priests that the Catholic Church hid and protected and moved around. All of the pastors that we've recently found out the Southern Baptists were protecting. Think about all of the well-respected white teachers and coaches and scout leaders over the years where people just didn't believe the children, didn't believe that that good man was capable of that. And it's not hard to imagine that these numbers should probably be closer to those. And as long as we're talking fun facts, let's look at this one. They looked at SA convictions from 2006 to 2017, and you know what they found? There was a 1,330.47% increase in sentences of black individuals and a 8.6 decrease in sentences for white individuals. So white people, far more likely to do it, also more likely to receive a lenient sentence for it. So while I'm real sorry if that first video triggered you, statistically speaking, that mom is right. And maybe you should teach your children to do the same thing.
I called the police. What's going on with somebody's baby? I done found outside in the cold with a pamper on, one sock, no shoes, a top, walking in my backyard. The police is here, and the medics is here.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, bud. How long has he been?
So, probably approximately maybe 2 minutes before I called the police. I immediately brought him inside, covered him up, and called the police. I immediately covered him up. So, yeah, his feet, you can feel his feet is still pretty cold.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Let me go grab the light.
Bye-bye.
All right, buddy.
I'm out, baby.
All right, thanks.
If y'all need me for anything, can sign it. Here, I'll walk you.
Yeah, you want to come?
Yeah, I'll walk you. Come on, baby. Come on. Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I keep seeing people talk about the white child find the black woman thing, and this is like my take on it. A lot of us black women are taking it back to like when we were the mammy, like back to the mammy days and just keeping it there. But when I think of it past the mammy days, I also think about the fact that we are possibly the safest person that your fucking child can be with. Like, honestly, just the black woman being who she is. And all of us collectively as black women, majority of us can say we will help any child, no matter race, age, any of that. We will help any child in need. So I honestly think it's more so of a thing, like they know their child would not be safe with a white man. They know their child would not be safe with another white woman. And they're not very sure about a black man. They say find black men too sometimes, but they know they'll be safe with us. But let me also say this. I completely and utterly understand our frustration with that shit because that puts us in danger. It fucks up.
White people, stop telling your children, go find a black woman if they get lost. Hell no, we're not doing this in 2025. Whether you are conscious of it or not, what you are doing is putting our black women in grave danger. And hell no, we're not doing that. Because little Sarah or little Timmy will go running up to some random black woman and she doesn't know what's going on, grab hold of her, and you being frantic, looking for your child, who you should have kept better supervised, you would turn a corner and see your child with a black woman and want to call the police, and that could end up having our black women be arrested, separated from their families, and God forbid, even unalive. Hell no. You Kens and you Carolyn Bryants out there are not going to put our black women in danger. And what really pisses me off about this, white America, on one hand, loves to tell the world that black Americans, especially black American women, are angry and loud and ghetto. But then privately, you are telling your children, now if you are lost, go find a random black woman, because you know deep down, you can't trust your children with your men and other white women. So you tell them to go find a random black woman. Hell no. Stop telling your kids if they get lost, they need to find a black woman. What you need to do is be better parents and keep them better supervised. Black women, if this happens to you, make sure you record the entire interaction. And if you have someone with you, have them record it too, so that you have more than one set of documentation as to what is going on and what is happening. And please boost this message. A user by the name of Lizzie, her video brought this to my attention along with some others. And
so family, first I want to say thank you for your like, your shares, your support. I appreciate you all. You all are great. You are my number ones, all of you all. And you know, this is kind of tricky because my heart just go out to any child. Any little child come up to me, you know, and they lost or they out in the cold. It would be hard for me to say, just ignore it. But what I would do is record and call the cops to come and get them. All right. Love y'all. Bye.